Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. It's daily news today. Today's daily news is also going to have the event breakdown as well as the Prizewall breakdown. I'll probably do this on most Fridays for the daily news, where I combine that video into this video. But the first thing I want to talk about is if you guys have the update, it's available on Android right now. So if you don't auto update, you have to go into Google Play and then go to WWE Champions and update your game. You can see here, it shows you who goes first in Showdown now. So if you're somebody that doesn't like trying to figure it out based on all of this or that, it's going to tell you they go first, right? So very helpful. You can also see now on the pre-match screen their level of hype. So let's go in here. He's level 1 hype. Oh, look, it tells me I'm going first. So much simplified, much easier. Also, I will say it's awesome Scopely got this out right away for people that were super confused. This is a super fast turnaround, so I think that was a good job. You know, so that's really cool. So yeah, if you're struggling to know if you go first or not in Showdown, once you update, that'll be completely fixed. And you also get your pre-match visuals right here to save time going in. So that's all there, right? Currently, we have the Premium Showdown going where you get I believe it's 3 energy for the event. Maybe it's more. Let's go into the actual event and I'll show you. We'll look at that and then we'll talk about the event. Yeah, Tune-Up Showdown, where you get 3 attacks, 3 energy. It comes back. You can get a decent amount of stuff. The medallions right here, etc., right? And that sort of thing. And you want to get these early because the way the scoring works for your faction. Which let's look at that really quick here. Each Black Mass Solo, Black Mass Faction. So the first 24 hours, you get 2 times points for your Black Mass medallions you earn. So all of the medallions you're earning today count double. So you can help your faction out by scoring more points. You want to do everything today. Get your showdown battles in, get what you can from there, do all the tours you can do, claim all that stuff, hopefully get some Prizewall medallions in that, and etc. So that's that. So what we're going to do first for the news today, now that we covered the update and how that should help a bunch of people for Showdown, we're going to go over the contest breakdown. Then we're going to go over the Prizewall breakdown. Then we'll take a look at some of the tours and stuff and then do offer review like we would usually for the news. So again, special thanks to Scotty for the Prizewall, the contest breakdown information we have here. Now, all of the Showdown is not live, so we are basing this off of the same event from the month before. Scott is, because he keeps track of all that. So this is best guess for the information we have. Keep that in mind. It's not 100% guaranteed to be accurate. It's just our best guesses that Scott has with the stuff he saves, and I personally plan accordingly with the information Scott has. He's very reliable, so and it's very likely to be repeat of the event from last month. That's typically how it works, right? So, but there is a little bit of room there. So you can see on the left-hand side of my screen, tours 3.853 million solo points, Showdown event 4.2 million. If it's like last month, at least 900,000 maybe, and harder to reach bonus Showdown milestones, so don't count on 4.2 million, take 900,000 off of that. Faction event has 2 million. Showdown leaderboard up to 700,000, that's League 23 to 24. Portal has 317,000 free. So total free-ish is 10.37 million plus Showdown leaderboard. That assumes all solo points from tours. Showdown faction event. Without bonus Showdown solo points, probably more like 9.47 million free plus Showdown leaderboard, right? And we don't have the Showdown bracket up yet, I don't believe, to be able to see what's going to be in there. Oh, maybe we do here. We do. Let's take a look and take a look. It's male, female. League 23 to 24 has up to 700,000 solo points and 40 pulls. If you're like my free-to-play in League 13, up to 224,000 solo points, right? So you can kind of gauge here, and then once the event starts, you'll know how much lower points you get depending on your ranking, right? So you can figure all that out when the event starts. But we do know now 40 pulls, 700,000 if you come in first in the top league. So that's there. You can also set your defense ahead of time if you want right now, since it's up. So it's kind of like feud prep, but showdown prep. So kind of like that. That's cool. So yeah, solo points. Let's take a look at the solo contest, like I like to do, and look at where that free-ish is and what kind of is around there, right? Because so my free to play won't get to the gold chest. It never does in Showdown. I'll be lucky to get to the bronze chest, which has 25 black shards and some econ. Silver chest almost for sure won't happen. 500 Prizewall medallions. And then the gold chest has 700. So really, if you're not getting into bonus milestones, right, you're probably not getting a lot of extra Prizewall currency. And it sort of shows that on the right. Tours is 1,000 based on last month. Again, that's a guess. Tune-up showdown, approximately 2,440. Assumes 3 matches and at least 800 notoriety. Again, I can't get that on my free-to-play. I don't have the promoters leveled high enough right now. Working on it, though. Solo event free, 2,000. That's through all the milestones in the solo event up to the gold chest. Bonus milestones free-ish, none before 11.3 milestone, which is a very big gap, right? And then there's all of a sudden 3,000. So between the free and that is almost 2 million points. So you're talking about 700,000 for finishing first, and then whatever the pulls would give you to get into that range, most likely. So probably not going to be easy, to be honest. Faction event, 500. Faction leaderboard up to 6,500. Let's look at that. Because it usually drops off pretty fast. So 4 to 10 is 4,000. You know, so yeah, that drops off very fast. And then 11 to 20 is 2,000, 1,000, 750, 500. So it really, you can't really count on a lot from this. If you're like me, in Mherex's case, I can probably count on 4,000, worst case 2,000. And my free-to-play is going to most likely be 750. So very massive drop-off there. So factor that in. Showdown event, likely 3,000, but likely based on last month, most are in hard-to-reach bonus showdown milestones. So definitely don't count that in unless you typically get into the bonus milestones. So total free-ish, and this is depending on a lot of stuff like Showdown always is, 5,940, plus the Showdown event itself, plus the faction leaderboard, right? So, I mean, if you figure faction leaderboard, let's just say 4,000. That's not fair because that's only the top 10 factions. Let's just assume 2,000 average, which is not going to probably be the case for a lot of people. Probably more like 1,000, really, in reality. You figure 1,000 there from the faction leaderboard, and then the showdown event itself. There's 3,000 if it's like last month, but they were hard to get, so maybe another 1,000. So, you know, for a lot of you, maybe somewhere between 5,000 and 8,000, right? And if you do everything and you get everything, now maybe you're talking about like closer to like 9K plus your faction event. So like maybe 13 if you're in like a top 10 like Mherex is. I figure I could probably around 13-ish would be fairly likely. 13K. So now that we have a pretty good idea on scoring and what it looks like, and most people probably being somewhere between like 5K and 13K, unless you're like my free-to-play, I figure I'll be lucky to get even 4K, to be honest. Let's see what the Prizewall looks like. Oh, before we go there, actually, let's take a look at the bonus milestones, because this is something I like to do, right? And see kind of like where it's worth it. Quotation marks. Obviously, if you do well in Showdown, you're going to get some in here. But there's not a lot here, just some Econ 5 Julia shards at 10.1. So we've already jumped up from the gold chest, like a good chunk, right? Almost 600, like 600,000 almost for 5 Julia shards. That's the first really appealing, and it's not that appealing. Still not much. All right, 15 here at 10.7, but now you're 1.3 million difference, right? 11.6, 50 Alistair Black shards. That's not exciting. 20 Juliet. So really, honestly, guys, I think you don't really sweat the bonus milestones unless you can get to 11.3 or higher, right? So like all of this in here is just kind of whatever. It's filler milestones, maybe a few, just a handful of Julia shards probably won't make or break you. But like from 11.3 on is where all of the meat is, right? 4,000 there, 25 Julia, 4,500 there, right? 8,000 there, and then finally 16,000, right? And 55 Julia. So like really, this is one of those where I think it's very normal, common, smart to say like, okay, this is where I am. This is what it would cost me to get farther on the last day. See where you're at, and you're like, man, this doesn't math out. This doesn't make sense, right? So, but if you win first, you get your bracket, you get your pulls, the 40 pulls, for example, they're going to be worth what, 20,000 each. That's 800,000 by my bad math. And then the 700,000 for first, that's like 1.5 million above the gold chest. So that would be 10.969, which is still not quite to that 11.4, right? It's not as exciting, honestly, as it might first appear. And all of it, like I said, is hidden well behind that. So you're like 600,000 more points just to get to here-ish from there. Yeah. Let's look at the Prizewall. So I have had in the past people message me like, Mherex, I spent a bunch of money and I didn't even get enough to recruit the poster off of here. I got a bunch of milestones, all but the last one, and I don't have very many medallions. Correct. You're not gonna, unless you pull Alistair Black or have Alistair Black already, you basically can forget about the rainbow flurries unless you're spending a metric crap ton, right? The 15,000 is somewhat doable. Budgetly-ish if you have a good bracket. You get first in your bracket. If your faction does really well, like you're a top 10 faction, the higher the better. And then you get all of your showdown bonus currency, then maybe you can get one of the off-color ones with a smaller spend, so then it might make a little more sense to push that milestone with 3,000, which was the, what was it, 11.3? Yeah, 11.3 milestone, if you want to pick up one of these. I do want to say Scopely's done one thing with these plates differently than the past few we've had. This Rainbow Flurries plus 4 Snowfall Gems, if you make 4 Snowfall Gems or more, increases all your gem damage by 500% for 1 turn. Very, very, very good plate. The color ones are 300%. So they're weaker than the Rainbow, which they haven't been doing. I have not tested the plates yet, full disclosure, not had time to do it. We didn't get them till after the event was already live anyway. So yeah, I haven't really played any of them. I would say some of the people that I really potentially like them on without testing them would be Trish, right? Attitude Era Trish, she would use red or rainbow. Let me pull up. I had written down a few notes for this. I'm pretty sure the new Trickster, not new Trickster Austin, Bionic Man Austin, if you have Snoop with him, this one is really for Shadow. Bionic Austin, the Motu one, with Snoop, I think you could do some stuff with him with the blue or the rainbow, potentially, although I haven't tried it. It looks like it might actually do something for him. Ray Phoenix, purple or blue for Ray Phoenix, or rainbow, obviously rainbow being better. Maybe potentially R-Truth Acro. He got a small buff. He can buff his purple gem damage with a percentage buff, so maybe like potentially the rainbow one, or the I think he does purple underneath it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so, or the purple one maybe. Ludwig Kaiser for the black one, especially if you have an OG drip plate, but maybe even without an OG drip. I don't know. I haven't tried it. Jersey Wildcat Live with the red one would be very good. What were a couple of the other ones I was thinking? Kairi Sane, Kabuki Warriors. Could be very good with these. And there's a couple more. Cody, Powerhouse Cody with the green, right? Could be quite strong. Get rid of the blast move and maybe 2-click, I think. It could be very possible. Again, this is without testing. Bubba potentially with the yellow one or the rainbow because he makes the middle row into Snowfall Gems, buffs his yellow gem damage. Hard probably to beat the Royal Rumble there, but maybe it does. So Bubba's one. Also, for those of you that run Brawn Breaker, middle lane in Feud, you guys know how hard Brawn Breaker Striker can hit. The black one or the rainbow one on Brawn Breaker would probably be insane because it's multiply gems, buff, and then this on top of it, like a percentage buff and multiply gems into this. So Brawn Breaker probably would hit insane. Striker Brett, especially if you have his gear, the best there ever will be, is probably very interesting with these two. Again, without testing. He's another one. And then who else did I think? There's maybe someone else. Striker Brett, I think, is green, if I'm not mistaken. So you'd want green or rainbow for Striker Brett. So that's just a few off the top of my head. The plate selection, that's what there is, right? It's these ones. So if you have to pick a color one, you know, you're trying to decide on which one you think might work better for you. To me, it sounds like a lot of them at the moment, you know, red, purple, green, blue, for the most part. Maybe a little bit less for black and yellow, but again, that's just initial thought. And of course, if you can get the rainbow, you definitely get the rainbow before the others, but it's going to be really hard to get. Black mask combo, whatever. It's 150% strap for 10k for only Alistair Black and then 5 random medals. Probably won't work out. Don't really like it. Don't like these bundles. These are random era class straps, so I don't care for those. And they're 14k. Much better off just grabbing a plate. Like, what's up with that? They're way overpriced. I never understand this pricing, to be honest, guys. Right? When you look at a price wall, there should be like some middle ground stuff where if you don't get 15k, like, why are these the same price as plates, basically? That just is weird. These ones are fine. The affiliation strap ones are priced fine. Don't mind the pricing on those. Those can be really useful. It gets a little bit better here if you didn't get El Grande. I think this is really, really good pricing, and this is in the wheelhouse where a lot of you might get them. So love the El Grande. They continue to do this with Austin Alliance, who I don't think is even that. For me, he can hit hard. He's not my gameplay style. I like many, many more tricksters better. They continue to overprice him on a ridiculous level. I'd rather have any of the skill plates than Austin recruited, personally. Pentashards aren't horrible. Revenge Tour Liv Morgan, great pricing there. And then all of these, you know, Bex and Bossman way better than Bundy. Bossman is really, really good pricing, but like Bex for your ladies is awesome on a roster. Like, say, my free-to-play Bex would be head and shoulders above. I already got Bossman, so that's who I'd be looking to get on my free-to-play. But the shards aren't bad, as long as you need some of them other than this. Like, just why? Why? And then it's the econ. So Prizewall's kind of really slim, right? It's really hit or miss. I can see people being like, I love this Prizewall because this gets me El Grande, right? So that would make sense. Or it gets me Bex, so it makes sense. Or even Revenge Tour Liv. She's actually can be pretty usable with the right setup these days. At the same time, or if you get a plate. If you don't get to the plate level, and you don't need any of these people, it's pretty bad, right? Like, pretty bad. So it's good and bad both, if that makes sense. But there's not really a lot to break down. It's more roster need, and then just Austin being ridiculously overpriced, right? So, yeah. And so a lot of you, like me on Mherex, I probably won't get to a plate, so it's probably going to be try gambling for an affiliation 4 times. And that's really not that exciting for a weekend prize wall for me. This is also one where generally I would say I won't spend, right? Because where is it going to get me? Now, maybe if I feel like doing 40 pulls and I buy $10 in energy and I feel like it'll get me there, a mega pull for $40 in Showdown, that's something I might spend, right? Just whatever. Yeah, I'll basically throw $10 away for the chance at the mega pull, have a little bit of fun with it. That's how I would look at it. And then if that were to get me close to one of these plates, then I might push like $20 more type of thing. But that's about all I'd be willing to commit. And that would be more towards the end when I know what's going to happen, right? Or can like sort of guarantee something. So it's not super exciting. There's not all bad news though. There is one offer I absolutely love. And I cannot believe I'm looking at it. Jacob Fatu at 6-star silver, straight up one of the best acros that you can get in the game, really. Acro male is a really tough class to have a good one. Straight up, you get him for $20. He's defensive, so he's really hard to evolve. And they're throwing you 3,000 of the shards in with it, so you only need to come up with 1,000 more to evolve him. Like, if my free-to-play had never spent in the game, and I was okay spending, like if I wasn't doing a free-to-play series, I would spend $20 and buy this for that account. If it was an account I was going to use all the time, right? It's that good. He's that good. And then you get the 7 pulls with it. On top of that, just food for thought. For those of you that are consistently short on Acrobat shards, if you already have Jacob Fatu, 6-star silver or higher, and you already have his stars filled, not only will you get the 3,000 S tier shards, you'll get all of the ones that a 6-star silver converts to, which I want to say, somebody in the comments can correct me. I think it's at least 5,000 shards that converts to. It might be more. So if somebody knows exactly what, throw it in the comments because I can't remember right now. But I want to say 5-star gold is a 5,000 shard recruit, right? So I think a 5-star gold would convert to 5,000 shards. 6-star bronze would be even more, and 6-star silver even more. So if you're somebody that has a defensive acrobat you really want to level up, you get the 7 pulls on top of it. There's multiple reasons why I potentially like this offer for people. I think it's a really, really good offer when considering you're guaranteed Jacob. The Beach Brawl, these packs, I'm not really a fan of. I know some people like them. If you get max steps during feud for it, I actually don't buy them on Mherex pretty much ever. I just go without the steps, and what it gives you in the boss shop coins is, I don't think it's good. I don't think it's really worth the $20 commitment to me. I'd rather put that 20 somewhere else. I know a lot of people will disagree there, but there's that. Trasher for $5. It's cheap. You get 2 pulls, but I don't know that it's really worth it. If you don't have him, maybe, like it's worth it to you, but I have trouble saying that because he's just not really good, and I don't use this trainer on anyone actively on Mherex, and that's kind of my litmus test. If I'm not using someone as a trainer and he's not a good fighter, then why do I really want him? So, these offers, I mean, they're whatever, right? You get guaranteed shards. If 45 recruits J for you with the 19 pulls, sure. Same thing if you really want Penta, at $50, for those 2 recruits them. If you really want them, I guess it's okay. Austin, I mean, whatever, right? I don't love the offers. Starter pack, 2 pulls, $5, 15,000 points. That's the same as like almost a pull, but not quite a pull as far as points go. So it's $2.50 per loot pull. Same thing with this one, $2.50 per loot pull, but you're getting 30,000 here. So it's almost like an extra 1.5 loot pulls. So it's slightly better, and it's like, better than just the 2 pulls here at $2.50 a pull kind of thing. So they're okay. These are whatever. I don't love them. These 24-hour ones. They're just kind of whatever, right? Just more of the same. Your 7 pulls for $20. Not special. This anti-hero one with like showdown tokens and a random strap, kind of hate it as well, to be honest. I would save for whatever offers are Sunday. That's how I look at it. Usually you get the finale ones that are much, much better. This one, like tokens, this one's particularly bad. If you're going to spend 100, you should get extra stuff. That one doesn't have it. This is just straight up buying the medallions, right? So if you decided you wanna buy a plate, you can just do that. And you could spend $400 and buy the rainbow plate essentially, because you'd pick up 200 more. But this is actually kind of a really not good offer, I guess. I mean, what else is there? It's just the medallions for 7,000. So I don't like it, but again, other people might. Special value deals feels not special since it's only 3 pulls. It's $3.33 a pull with nothing worth buying. So it says special value, but really it should say don't buy this. There's other better stuff. This is just the points. For $5, this is not even a pull and a half. So again, it's a horrible offer, horrible value. And why would you pay $2 for that, right? So all of these special value deals, just like delete them from your brain. They're way, way worse offers. Again, same thing here. No. And this one, again, no. You might as well get Thrasher for $4.99, right? Like, it's just, I don't understand them. One pull for $2, like, okay, at least the $2 pricing isn't terrible. So this one's cheaper price than the other ones. So this one I can sort of appreciate, right? In the sense that it's $2 a pull. These are $2.50, so it's just better, right, than your single ones here. So if you really got a bee in your bonnet and you decide you want to try one random pull for $2, okay, whatever. You know, you do get the bonus points for a single pull, which I think is 200,000 points for doing one. So that $2, or it's 100,000, my bad. So it's extra 100,000 points. So keep that in mind, but do it Sunday if you want to do it, right? And see if you actually need it. Otherwise, you're just kind of throwing money away to throw it away. No reason to do that today, especially since it's not going away, right? Backstage pass we've talked about. This we've all talked about. Blah 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 blah. I'll claim my free daily bag. Okay. And yeah, there's nothing else new there. I did want to mention the tours today. Look at first glance, like this one, if you just look at it, right, and you click, let's see, it shows like Alistair Black, and you think, oh, I don't have the new one, I can't really do it. You can do it with Tech Black too. So yeah, I just got Armory Tech Black finally today at 4 stars, so I can at least get some of that in. So you can use Tech Black there. Also, the challenge tours, if you're like me and you want to get your faction stuff done, but you want to save your energy for the actual contest. I hate that they do this, by the way. This tour should not be here till, anyway, it doesn't matter. This should not be here till tomorrow, though. Just don't use the CSS. So if you want to get your max faction points today and maybe get some medallions and get 2 times points, just don't use the CSS. So this is Acrobat Showboat. Just go in and use whoever you have that fits it. That's not an Acrobat or a Showboat. So like I would just go in with a tech, boom, that one's done, and then go win it again when I need the energy for my event, right? So same thing on hard, you know, just don't use your CSS classes, Powerhouse Trickster, don't use those, save your energy kind of thing. So that's what I do for those, and that's what I would recommend doing. And then of course, if you have Alistair Black, you have 24 hours to get a bunch of extra stuff. This energy, you don't have a choice on, so that just helps you get higher in the event going on. Some tokens there. You would absolutely always want to do these, right? Because you get a chest here with some stuff in it for him. And then let's see what they decided to throw in Hill mode. 2,000 shards for him to evolve him. You're going to get another tour. These 24-hour one is not actually super exciting on this one. You'll get another bonus tour for having him later. So yeah, that's that. So I guess there's the one weekend loot to look at for Alistair Black, the Black Mass loot. Featured, 4 guaranteed featured on a 40 pull. The featured is all Alistair Black. So let me clarify a few things for everybody. In my opinion, this superstar is not even remotely worth spending for to unlock early or to unlock at all. If you get him, very likely it will get you a bunch of medallions extra though. and you will probably get close to the rainbow plate. I don't know what they're going to put in his tour, maybe not, maybe you won't, so I shouldn't say that, but I don't know that, you know what I mean, like, it's just, he's really not good. You move into the mega rares, 17.5% chance to get is pretty high on a 40 pull. You'd get a decent amount of mega rares, but what's actually in here? I mean, some people like Austin, but like these two, you know, Jade isn't, to me, people like her. I don't feel like she's relevant. They just sold Taker for 20 bucks. If you wanted him, that was the time to get him. Mello would be amazing for sure. Penta would be solid. They just sold Bam Bam for 20 bucks. If you wanted him again, that was the time to get him. These two aren't great. These two aren't great. Not great. Jacob, they're selling for 20. McCool's awesome. If you hit her, that would be cool. Braun Breaker you get for free this month. Everybody in the game, as long as you're like League 10 or higher, I think, can get Braun Breaker for free. So that's what everybody should get. If you, I put that in yesterday's daily news as well as my month-long Prizewall breakdown. If you're not sure how, Liv would be fine. Again, A tiers. You can see this is mostly all A tier characters in here. Is what I'm getting at. There's a few thrown in like to make it look good, but it's not weighted the same. So you pull this, you're gonna get a lot of like, you know, Liv, Rusev there. He's reworked, so he's a little bit better. You know, this kind of Tama, a lot of that kind of May, probably a lot of that kind of stuff, right? So it's whatever. Move into rares. It's again not really exciting. There's shards here, which aren't terrible shards. Drew shards are good. Birdmans are good. El Grandes are good. Penta shards at 100 are good. Mellow shards at 100 are good. So like this one's pretty good if it skews nicely towards the shards. Michelle McCool shards. So actually the shards are decent. And then you go into the commons and right, there's just not some more shards, at least some good ones. But you don't know what you're going to get. And maybe this isn't the, like we talked about, right? So just to clarify, if you drop $100 and you buy 40 pulls, let's look at the offers that are there right now. You're better to spend on the portal if you're going to do it because there's a little bit better offer. But you're going to get basically 800,000 points for the 40 pull, and then this one, where do they even have it here? Maybe another 200 or 300,000 they'll put in it, right? You'll get like 1.1 million extra bonus points basically for a full pull. And when we looked at the milestones, we already kind of concluded that if you would normally get to 9.4, what does like 1.1, 1.2 million even do for you? It gets you to 10.6, not even to the 10.7 milestone. And there's literally no bonus Prizewall currency. So you're going to drop $100 and get no plate, most likely. Right? So there are a lot better events. You guys know I tend to say this. If you're going to do a big spend, have that big spend make a big difference. This one, $100 isn't going to go very far. And then if you were to spend another 100 on top of it, from 10.7 gets you to 11.8. You'll get 4,000 medallions, 7,000 extra medallions. So now you're talking like $200 to get 7,000 medallions, and you still won't be anywhere near the rainbow plate. And your like prize for shard recruiting is the A tier, that if you're willing to spend $200, you're probably recruiting for free this month anyway. This is not the event to do big spending, in my opinion, right? This is the event to just kind of really the height of take what you can get. If you feel like doing a mega pull, right, and your showdown bracket looks good, spend $10 on energy, see if you can get it that way. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, just let this one go and save your money for a different event. That's how I look at it. I'm not sure I even will. Like, if my bracket looks even remotely competitive, I won't even spend $10 to try, because the loot just isn't that appealing to me, even at the price of $10. That's how I look at it. I'll just save it for a better event, a better showdown, and that kind of thing. So that's what I have for you guys on today's daily news. That's my event Prizewall breakdown. The good news is, and this is the most important thing I feel like, is for people, and there were a lot of people struggling with Showdown, once you update your app, and it's not out for Apple yet, you're going to be able to see this all ahead of time, and it's going to tell you who goes first. So all the other stuff, the events are what they are. It doesn't bother me, right? Like if it's not a good event to spend, because that's up to the individual, right? Scopely never makes you spend. They don't make me spend. So I just vote with my wallet. When I don't think it's a good event, I don't spend. But this is like really good quality player, quality of life. There we go. That'll help a lot of people who are struggling to know who to go first. It just makes it really easy for you. So hopefully that solves a lot of people's issues in Showdown. So let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. And this was a really long daily news. So thanks for watching and good luck out there. Oof, that was a mouthful.